Thank you for humming and singing the whole theme, man. That was maybe the first time you've ever done that. Hey, everybody, welcome into the South Point Hotel and Casino. Kickoff for Thursday Night Football is in 5 hours and 14 minutes and 32 seconds. Tonight, we got the 49ers in a must-win situation. They can't go 0-3 in their division. Playing in Seattle. And in 37 hours and 25 minutes right down the street, the Steelers will defeat the Las Vegas Raiders. Welcome into the show. It's called Punchlines. It's a fun mix of sports, comedy, conversation, a little gambling advice. I'm your host, Frank Nicotero, longtime comedian, lifelong sports fan. And on today's show, I hope that everybody here in the studio, when we finish, I hope they hug this Frankie like Frankie Lindor was hugged after the big win in the NLDS yesterday. So here we go. Hits the huge grand slam. Just goes around the bases like it's a spring training home run. He is carrying this team on his back right now. He gets mobbed. He's picking up. I don't know how many. This is like some sort of 1950s stunt they used to do. How many people can one guy carry? So anyway, the Mets. There's the camera guy running out there. The guy with an orange glove. Anyway, the Mets. Congratulations. Jeff Parles. Was he at game 2? We don't know if he was at the second game. Unconfirmed. Rumors Jeff Parles was also at that game. We're not sure, but Jeff Parles will be sitting in that seat tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff Parles and Grimace were going bonkers, but you know what? The scene in the Philadelphia Phillies home park wasn't quite the same, ladies and gentlemen. This is really sad. Look. Oh, look. It's already a Spirit Halloween star. These things pop up where I'm living right now. There's two that have popped up in the last week, and I don't know how they do it, but the Phillies are once again bounced from the playoffs. Too bad they didn't lose at home because we would have had those exit videos, which were hysterical. Maybe Bryce Harper for Halloween can dress up as Anthony Rendon, who really doesn't dress for games anymore, but he does have a World Series ring. But I'm sure the Philly fans took that grand slam yesterday very well. Do we have these videos? Oh, here's a guy watching the game live.
Anything in this series.
Okay, here we go.
The luck is over.
Typical Phillies fan.
Scared right now.
Now, if you're in the chat, I see some people in there now. Tell us if you think this is real or not.
Burn him. Dude,
see, that's why I think it's real, because he's like, all right, burned him on strike one, and he was rocking back and forth.
You got to get out of this. Double play, get out of this.
Here we go.
Phillies win this game. Keep it low.
There's a little edit there, which I like. See, so it makes it feel like it's real. But here comes the granny. Seems a little early. A little early to be dejected, or did he know it was gone? He removes the Philly jersey. If he was truly pissed, he would have ripped the buttons. Let's just be honest.
You know what? Give me the Lindor jersey. I can't play this game. Lindor's the luckiest guy I've ever seen on a poverty franchise. Oh my gosh.
All right, there you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, sitting in the studio to my right, a man who was wrong when he said the Kansas City Chiefs will be a dynasty of one. He just stepped off a flight from Pittsburgh this morning to work the PGA event, which we'll talk about. We'll talk about some F1 race. That's going to be here next week. And he's the #1 Caitlin Clark fan. He's the one who told me about Caitlin Clark before she was Caitlin Clark. One of my best friends in the world. The return of Frank Murgia, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, let's go.
He's in the studio.
Let's go.
Let's go. You literally flew in this morning.
I'm on about a 42-hour bender. And I don't bend.
You don't bend. You don't even drink.
I've just been awake. 5:30 a.m. Pittsburgh, landed, went to breakfast, hung out here for about 3 hours with all my luggage, just sitting out there like a vagrant.
He sent me a picture. I thought he was like joking. He was sitting by Cecilia, who knits every day, in seat 2, right here. And he was just chilling, waiting for me to show up. Did you raw dog the flight, or did you watch stuff, or did you do you know what raw dog in a flight is? It's where
I know what it is, but not in the flight.
So it's when you just now. Well, Ann could speak from experience. She didn't really do it, but she sent a funny video. It's where you take a long flight and you don't watch anything, you don't read anything. You just sit in your seat and you stare straight ahead.
I have done that. Not this one. I actually watched a lot. I watched a lot of the flood, the hurricane coverage.
Oh, that's good. Bring the show down.
Yeah,
okay, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for bringing that up. We'll get to more of that in the punch bowl, actually, for our comedian who's going to be here tomorrow, we hope. But yeah, so flight, you're running on fumes.
I feel good though. Good energy. Thanks for having me. Great to be here. I was here about a year ago for the tournament.
Oh wow,
the golf tournament. We come once a year. It's the 31st annual Las Vegas Pro-Am.
Yeah, I know you're wearing a shirt here. Explain what you're a part of. That's to let people know.
I am communications and digital director for the Tri-State PGA. PGA of America, Tri-State section.
Right.
41 sections in the country. The PGA of America, of course, is PGA of America, PGA Championship, Ryder Cup.
Right.
We run those. So I am the communications director, so I'll be out here shooting a lot of videos, doing a lot of social media, some live hits from the tournament.
Yeah.
It's going to be at the Las Vegas Paiute Golf Resort.
Now, Paiute Golf is where the golf outing was. The one that I missed.
Yeah, the day after you.
The day that I broke the monitor
you
with
went
the
viral.
golf club. Yeah, I went viral. I went viral on that. That's going to be fun, though. That should be a lot of fun.
It's fantastic. All of our professionals and amateurs will be there. 3 days on 3 courses out there. It's going to be. It's awesome. I mean, you're in the desert. I get the drone up there, and it's great for visuals for what I do.
Drone up there. Oh, you operate? You're a drone operator?
Yeah, I put the. Yeah, I do all that.
Do you need a license for that? Don't you need some sort of FCC?
You do, but I don't have one.
Okay. Letting everybody know. I wish you were here a month from now because over at Mandalay Bay, there's a brand new. We have to go cover this, Ann. It's called Swingers. It's going to be an indoor mini golf at the Mandalay Bay.
That's big now.
Yeah, there's Tiger Woods has one here.
He's got Pop Stroke.
There
I know
you go, right.
Top Golf is out here, so it's all the rage. I mean, golf has never been popular. Now, watching it is a little different story. People are pretty frustrated with that.
Right. But anyway, we have to go to we might have to hit the Tiger Woods thing.
Yeah.
When Caden went early when it first opened, it took hours to play, but I think it's died down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure it's pretty popular. Before we just lose this topic, I just want to thank my executive director, CEO, my boss, David Wright, and all the Tri-State guys for letting me come out here and do this.
Yeah, you guys
They're gambling and drinking. I go, I'm going to go do this. This is more fun because I don't drink and gamble.
Hook up with them later. Now, you used to, but all right, we'll get to that later. Also on the show, all right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a Steeler fan like myself and Frank Murgia and Sean back there, this is legendary. We have the announcer who did the Steeler games from 94 to 2020. For 30 years, he was the voice of the Steelers, Bill Hargrove. I remember him as a kid from WTAE News. He was the sports anchor, and he is still the voice of the Pitt Panthers football and basketball. And Chris Andrews lined this up. So we're going to be talking with Bill Hargrove.
He's unbelievable.
And a little over a half hour. This is a huge throw. I'm wearing an older Steeler jersey. By the way, if you saw how this is, I look like a little kid. I look like this. I'm in a movie where the adult became the little kid, like Big or something. This is a Rod Woodson jersey that was brought in for me by Sean. So he was a Steeler when Bill Hargrove was calling games still. So I wore this for Bill Hargrove. So anyone who's watching in Pittsburgh or as a sports fan, it's going to be awesome. So here we go. All right. Bill Hargrove coming up at 12:40 approximately. Top of show. We have a new thing called Breaking Video. Top of show, Breaking Video. I just stole the pop-up video theme, but that's okay. So we gave something that we wanted to show you that's breaking news. Now, you know about the Bills fans. Have you ever tailgated at
Bills Mafia?
The Bills Mafia.
I do, yeah. The table.
Have you ever been to a Bills game?
Not in Buffalo, but when the Bills played here years back, not the same.
Went with Mike O'Day or somebody or Don. We went to a Bills game, and they do go hard up there, and it was freezing cold. So they have this tradition where they break tables, right? They jump and they break these folding poker tables, whatever you want to call them. And there's a couple that had a baby, and they wanted to christen. So the reason this is our breaking video today is, well, take a look. The baby is christened and breaks a table. This is the cutest thing you're going to see today. So here we go. A Bills fan is born. Caden titled it Bill's Baptism. So watch this. Now, right now, I know there's like child services is like, are they going to throw? No. There we go. Gently tap the kid. Yay, there's a Bills fan forever.
That's awesome.
And it's great. So he's in for hopefully 80 to 90 years of disappointment being a Buffalo Bills fan.
Yeah.
Who have yet to win the Super Bowl and lost 4 straight when we were kids.
Yeah, I mean, Jim Kelly. Our guy, Western Pennsylvania.
Jim Kelly. Look, if I'm not rooting for the Steelers, I'll root for the Bills.
Yeah.
Easy team to root for, easy franchise.
Yeah, blue collar, kind of like Pittsburgh, very likable.
3-hour drive. You got Cleveland 2 hours. We're never going to root for Cleveland. But Buffalo, we can root for Buffalo. Yeah. So that's the cutest thing. They take the little kid there and break the table. All right, it's time for roll call, and roll call. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we check out who's watching the show, who we got in the punch room. So the question of the day, and there's a reason I brought this up. The question of the day that I started off is, what's the most you've ever spent on a ticket for a sporting event? The reason I bring this up, the Steelers are playing down the street, just 6 miles from here at Allegiant this Sunday, and it is the highest priced ticket on secondary markets in the history of the stadium.
Is it really?
The Steelers, yeah, because you know the Steelers.
I know. Steelers, Raiders, I mean, they travel.
We already know 40 people coming in for this game.
We do.
They're all coming. There's some here. Bill Neovis will be here tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw Bill at the airport.
You saw him at the airport. He's going to stop by the show tomorrow and sit here and watch maybe. Or he is. Matt Light, comedian, who's going to be on the show Monday. Matt Light, if you're a Pittsburgher, very funny guy. He'll be here Monday live. If he's not too hungover.
He'll be hungover.
Yeah.
Matt will not be here live.
I think we've showed a video before of Matt. He likes to imbibe at the tailgate.
He's fantastic, though.
He's awesome. So Matt's supposed to be here Monday. His dad's in town, his girlfriend, who I haven't met, so we're going to meet up with them. I'll be at the Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club this Friday night for 2 shows, 7:30, 9:30, with John Caparulo, who's very funny. Chris Andrews will be coming out with his wife. So the tickets are very expensive. So I asked everybody, what's the most you've ever paid for a sporting event ticket? And I see that Minidar immediately is in there. He spent, okay, I'll ask you an over-under on this. For WWE, not WrestleMania, how much do you think he spent for a ticket? For WWE.
Not WrestleMania.
No, not WrestleMania, but a WWE event.
185.
$350.
Goodness gracious.
$350.
Minidar.
Minidar did that. Keith Lyle, let's see. Oh, wait, not Sean. This is exactly what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Not Sean, right there. That's Sean.
Yeah,
that's
there's Sean over there.
It's
That's
not
not
Sean,
Sean.
though. He goes by Not Sean. $700 he spent on these tickets. That's for this week, right? Are they good seats? They're great seats.
We have a friend that's coming in. He paid $4. I heard some people paid $5.
$350 or $4.
$7. Wow.
$7. Sean. Well, this is Sean. I mean, Sean, have you seen the Steelers live before? Okay, so I mean, this is a pilgrimage for him to see the
that's
Steelers
fantastic.
for the first
It's gonna
time.
be
You got to
great.
go. And if he hits one of those 10, 20 leg parlays, it pays for it. Every week, he cooks up what do you have going this week, Sean? Nothing yet. He'll have at least a 10 or 20 legger. He shows it to me. He had a first touchdown one. I think it was 2 weeks ago. CeeDee Lamb on Thursday night was the first one. CeeDee Lamb didn't get the first touchdown. He's like, I'm out already.
I'm done.
But one of these days, we're going to post Sean hitting a $200,000 win. Keith Lyle, he went to the bleachers at Wrigley 2 years ago, $40 ticket. Spent the summer of '88 there. It was only $6.50. It's too much. $40 is too much for Keith Lyle. Keith, are you kidding me? Let's see here. Hello, Frank. Love you both. Oh, my mother says hello.
No, Rita.
Is your mom in the chat? We got your mom in there
I
yet?
just got her to figure out the YouTube. But if you're chatting, Mom, I don't know how you're doing it. But thank you. She's
Now,
not chatting.
Vince right here, Vince Las Vegas is saying, I want to say around $300 for a UFC fight, and those fights were still numbered in the double digits. Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I've talked about this. Gino Crognali, a mutual friend of ours who's also Italian. Vinny, Gino Crognali. I remember watching UFC 3.
With him and Lucas?
With him and Lucas, friends of ours, 3. And there were no rounds. There were no rules. There was no timer. It was just go till someone is out. And it was brutal. So that's a lot of, what city was that in? It was here in Vegas. Okay. And now for me, I went to the Super Bowl to see the Steelers against the Arizona Cardinals in Tampa Bay.
Yes.
I went with no ticket, but I wanted to do this first class, right? So I cashed in my miles on U.S. Air. Was U.S. Air still around?
I think so, yeah. We were a hub.
So I flew from here. I flew first class. I upgraded to first class by myself. I went, met Mike Harrow, a friend of ours. Mike O'Day was there. He got us a room where the Cardinals team was staying. Oh. And I didn't have a ticket the night before the game. All of a sudden, Chip Ganassi Racing.
Oh, yeah.
Pittsburgh, Chip Ganassi gets a ticket for me, face value, $800. Paid $800. I was sitting on the 40-yard line in the lower level. Adam Sandler and Kevin James are on the 30. I'm on the 50. I had better seats, and I saw the Steelers win the Super Bowl thanks to Ben driving under 2 minutes to Santonio Holmes.
Hey, when they win that money, you don't even know you spent it.
I might never have paid. Yeah. I don't even remember. It was before, I'll get you the 800. But it was face value. They could have sold that ticket. It was a friend of O'Day's. They could have sold that ticket for thousands.
Yeah.
But I did pay 800 face value, so that's the most I've ever paid. So there you go. That's a lot of money. All right. Thank you, Punchies. If you're new to the show and you're watching, just click subscribe. And 5 minutes, you can be in the chat room. It takes 5 minutes, and then you're in and you can comment.
I love the chat room.
The chat room, we have the best chat room in the world. All right. So let's go. It's time for That's Crazy. Let the cat out of the bag. And since it's October, it's a very spooky graphic. Usually it's a fun, uplifting thing, but there it is. Okay. That's crazy. The black cat walks by. You don't want to have a black cat walk by when you're making bets. That's not a good sign. That's kind of a bad sign. So I asked Google, by the way, to name the black cat. I asked Google's Gemini, please name the black cat that I just got. It suggested Midnight Shadow Raven. No way. Eclipse, which would also be Keith Lyle's name for Shaq. Noir, Coal, Onyx, Ebony, Panther, Storm, or Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And also Alex's suggestion of Binks from Hocus Pocus.
Oh, yeah.
So didn't you have a name for a cat, or didn't someone have a name yesterday, or Keith had a name? Oh, yeah. Let's get in. Didn't we come up with a name?
It was so perfect.
What Keith had?
No, what I had.
Well, it was you.
But I can't remember it.
Oh, God. All right.
Somebody go to the tape.
All right, for now, it's Midnight the Cat. I don't know. All right, so anyway, it's time for That's Crazy. Frank Murgia has a That's Crazy. I have a That's Crazy. Frank, this is a baseball one. It's based on the Guardians. You were always a Tribe fan. You loved the Guardians.
Growing up, I was a Pirates fan, of course.
Right.
But I kind of wanted an American League team. And
Right.
it was always the Cleveland Indians, the Tribe,
2
now the
hours away.
Guardians.
Right.
Yeah, loved all those players. Toby Harrah, Andre Thornton, Joe Charbonneau, Miguel Delaunay.
Miguel
Delaunay.
Your favorite player.
My favorite. So this is the Guardians. Do I run with it here?
Yeah, go ahead, read it.
Let's
if
go
you can
with it.
read it or read it on the screen there. It's from Jay Kuda, the Guardians. Do you want to go and read
Yeah,
it?
the Guardians who haven't scored 20 run. They haven't scored 20.
Scored in 20 innings.
They haven't scored in 20. You read it.
They haven't scored in 20
Frank
innings.
gave me this, by the way. I go, I'm not going to have one. I'm on a plane.
No.
I'm raw dogging on a plane. So you better
Listen
get
to
me
me.
one.
The Guardians, who haven't scored in 20 innings, have more runs in the series than the Tigers, but the Tigers are up 2-1. That is definitely crazy. It's because Cleveland won that second game. What was the final score of the game two? Or game one was 7-0. Right, so it's been 2-3-0 games since. They haven't scored in 20 innings, but they've outscored them in the series. But it doesn't matter. It's 2-1 Detroit, which is amazing. I'm kind of rooting for the Tigers. Why not?
Yeah, I love some of these American League teams are awesome, like the Royals, the
exciting.
Tigers. They're so exciting.
And they're also all small markets like our team.
Yes, we relate.
Yes, we relate, so we're rooting for them. So go Detroit. I would root for Cleveland. I would root for KC. I don't really care. All right, let's take a look at Mike. That's crazy. And this is the Delta Beer Line. So the Delta Center, normally where the Jazz play.
Yep.
Well, they have the Utah Hockey Club, which goes by the Utah Hockey Club.
For
Give
now,
me a break.
for now, yeah.
Just name it the Yeti. We all know it's coming. So they have one game. Utah's NHL season opener produced more beer sales than any NBA event at Delta Center. So what does that say? What does that tell you? Hockey fans are drinkers.
They're drinkers. I mean, anything like a momentous event, event like that, it's like a big first time, they're going to drink.
Is it $120,000?
That's crazy.
What does that small part under there and say? Okay. Oh no, it just says Delta Center record. So 120 grand on beer. I can't remember. Sean, did they win or lose the opener?
They won.
They did win. I'm still amazed that there's partial view seats. If you're sitting, how is that possible?
Yeah, right from the end zones, you can't even see the goal.
So you just imagine they'll go, oh, they scored. Okay, that's why people are drinking. They're like, I paid a lot of money for the seat and I didn't even see the goals being scored. But anyway, congratulations, Utah, for drinking your way. Yeah, because when you go to a basketball game, it's not like rowdy as like, you don't drink as much.
We went to many Penguin games back in the day.
Yeah, it was a lot of
we
drinking.
would get liquored up.
A lot of drinking.
But with football, of course, you have tailgating. You don't see a lot of tailgating in hockey, but that's why when they get in,
Yeah.
let's go.
And for baseball, it's usually just the opener. The opener may be
Yeah.
a playoff game.
Yeah,
And then
one
that's it.
sellout a year for the Pirates.
Unbelievable. All right, it's time. We're going to the Punch Bowl. Here we go. Punch Bowl pundits, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we got some stuff in here with some accompanying video, which will make it a lot of fun. And here it comes. This is very soothing. Punch Bowl pundits. There we go. All right, Murgia, there's some titles in here. Why don't you grab one?
You're not going to ask me why I'm wearing a glove?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, as you reached. Oh, okay. Hold on. Yes, Dean Hilt. All right, before you read that out loud, Dean Hilt, one of our regular. What's the deal with the glove? Is he channeling Michael Jackson? What is with the one?
What are we, 18 minutes in? You don't even see the glove?
You know what? Because you're so odd. I don't know
I
what
am
to
very
say.
odd.
Why? Well, that's just to promote the PGA.
It is. It's because I'm here for a golf event and for my job. But I do a lot of on-camera stuff for our Tri-State PGA on Instagram, and I just always wear the glove. I do food reviews. I eat with the glove. Everything's with the glove.
So this is your
It's
brand.
It's my yeah. I'm on brand.
It's your
It's
brand.
my own little thing. But I just wanted to see how long it would take you to notice, which was none.
But-
Thank you, Brent.
Thank you. No, Dean Hilt noticed.
Dean Hilt.
Hold on.
Oh, here I know B-Town Dummy. I know it's from B-Town Dummy.
All right, B-Town Dummy. Oh, God. I can't tell which Frank is actually sticking to their keto diet. I have been off keto.
That would be
for-
zero.
That would be neither. Thanks, B-Town Dummy. What are you tipping the scales at right now?
Oh,
'Cause
two spins.
Two spins at least. Oh, he's 2 spins.
Yeah.
Lighting candles. JR, the annual famous line when a Major League Baseball team loses the opener, no beer sales that season. Why? Because they lost the opener. Does that work for hockey?
Oh.
JR, this is why you're going to be on the show very soon. I say this, I've done this joke. When I was a kid, I go, Pirates can't serve beer all year. They lost the opener. It's one of my favorite jokes, JR. We're going to get you in very soon. And then OJ. Oh, he said OJ. I didn't understand what he was saying there. Little OJ reference. And, okay, what's that? I won't pay more than, JR, for me, probably due to principles, he won't pay more than $300 for a sporting event.
Yeah, it's good to have some principles on that.
And our buddy Turk's coming out, and he's got a ticket for me if I want it, $350.
$350.
I am doing shows Friday night. I could take that money, turn it right into the Steeler game.
You could. You should go.
My trade will pay for a ticket.
Your trade.
There
yeah.
you go. Nothing
By the way,
tangible.
hello to the chat, because when the show started, I was entrenched full time. Then
Yeah.
when golf season started, I'll admit
You're usually always there.
Yeah, in 3 more weeks, I'm here every day,
Okay,
5
he'll
days
be
a
here
week.
every day in 3
but
weeks.
hello, Mini Dar, Joey B, Tommy Green, Lucky, the word we can't say.
We haven't seen Tommy. Well, Tommy's
Bob Dell.
Tommy's he's got no power right now. He's in. Well,
All right, but I just
we
wanted
know
to say,
he's well.
yeah, hi to some of the people I came in
Exactly.
with.
And speaking of Keith Lyle, he just walked into the studio. So
Oh yeah, I was going to ask, where's Keith
he's
Lyle?
right there. He's right there.
There he is, Keith Lyle.
All right, so
You got your golf ball?
all right, so Punch Bowl pundits. Do you read it with the glove hand or without the glove hand?
Glove hand.
All right, go for it.
Of course. F1 race is back in a month.
Yep.
It's huge.
Now you are my go-to F1 guy. Last year was the first time we had the F1 race here in Vegas. Went down the right down the strip. It was amazing. I watched it. I could hear it from where I was staying.
Yeah.
We could hear the engines roar. You are also a big fan of the video game that I know you play. We've showed a picture of you sitting at your kit. So what's going on with the F1? By the way, Ann, who lives here, it's like we haven't even heard anything about the F1 race.
When somebody said it's next month, I'm like, what?
It's a month from now. Last year, the town was ripped apart. So I guess they laid the foundation enough and the LED lights everywhere. But I haven't seen one promotional thing around this city.
Nope.
I haven't read anything about tickets or where to watch from. It's
No
really weird.
complaining from all of the businesses or anything
It's
like
really,
that?
really weird that it's going to be here in less than a month. And less than 2 weeks will be the South Point 400 out of the South, the racetrack. I will be there. I will be there that Sunday morning. You will too. So, okay, what do we talk? So F1 race, yeah. Max Verstappen, is he going to win this race?
Yeah, obviously, no.
No.
Possibly not.
Okay.
Max Verstappen, who was the 2-time champ, and he's been
Won the race last year.
Yeah, he won a race last year and pretty much every race last year. Started off hot this year. And then all of a sudden, this team McLaren, Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri, came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, their car got fast, really fast.
Oh, really?
There's a lot of stuff goes on in F1. It's pretty dicey.
Okay.
Every week, someone's trying to inspect that car, inspect that wing, inspect that floor, inspect
Right.
something, and they're always trying to find something illegal going on. But Team McLaren is very, very good. 2 good racers, and they're actually the leading team right now ahead of Red Bull. Max Verstappen is in a spiral.
Oh, wow.
He is not winning races.
champ.
And, he is the champ. So I think that'll make it very, excuse me,
It'll
very
make it
exciting.
interesting. Last year it was
Ferrari's
a foregone
going to be in there.
conclusion. Right, he's going to win.
So
A little drama
So
this
the race
year.
itself could be good. And I am very curious why there isn't the hubbub. Like, again, they have the infrastructure, but
None.
there's no talk about it.
None. Keith, have you seen anything talked about the F1 race for next month? Very little. I mean, it's like it's sneaking up on us, and it'll be here soon. But last
I'm
year,
excited, though.
Last year they were They were selling tickets at Bellagio, where you could watch the race for like 10,000, 20,000 MGM, and then the week before the race they went, "Hey, buy one get one." It's a BOGO.
There was a dip. Yeah, it was
We got
a BOGO.
a BOGO sale. Show your South Point card, get 50% off a card. All right, show
All
the
right, Punch Bowl
ball
coming
here.
back at you.
Oh, you did it with the glove.
Dean Hill.
Very good.
Is it Dean Hill? Thanks, Dean.
Dean Hill noticed the glove. All right. We want to talk Heisman race, ladies and gentlemen. And the reason we brought this up, and Sean was even talking about this before the show, the beginning of the season, it was Cam Ward. It was probably Quinn Ewers were favored to win the Heisman. It's probably someone I'm forgetting. But now the favorite to win the Heisman is Austin Genty. He will be playing here. When is he playing here, Sean? 2 weeks? Boise State will be here playing our beloved UNLV Rebels. They're not the running Rebels. That's just the hoop team. And as a graduate, Keith is a graduate of UNLV. I also went there for lunch the other day, the Chick-fil-A right by there. So anyway, Ashton Genty. Ashton Genty is now the favorite player to win the Heisman Trophy. He's like plus 200 or something. It's really low odds. And this video of him is probably the funniest thing I've seen. Sean found this, sent it to me today. It's trending everywhere. So this is him, what it's like if you're POV, if you have to tackle him. Sound up. This is funny.
31 to Mike. 31 to Mike. Check 31.
Texas, 40 Texas. Boise.
NCAA 25, you'll love this. So here he is. This is funny.
I don't even know why you trying to make this tackle right now, bro. You know you're not finna tackle me. You're one man. I'm Genty. You know what? The touchdown is right there, and I'm gonna save you the embarrassment. Just fall. I'm not gonna run you over, and I'm gonna score. I got the same stats as Barry Sanders. They have the carries. Let me save you. Good boy.
And then he goes.
Genty on his first touch.
Oh, obviously he scored. There was no defense players there. But anyway, so when did
fantastic.
Boise State change to those color uniforms?
First, I couldn't wait for that clip to get over.
Yeah.
I'm going, What is this?
They
The
used to be
mustard and the
orange
blue?
and blue.
Yeah.
I don't know.
have no
Maybe
idea.
those are an alternate jersey, but anyway, a very funny clip. Only to help fuel his Heisman campaign. Right now, this kid's amazing. And Sean brought up, he goes, hey, man, do you want to go see this kid play? I think next Friday. I love these Friday night games at the Allegiant Center or Allegiant Stadium, whatever it's called. I got to go. We're going. We're going to see Austin Genty, and there could be the Heisman Trophy winner.
That will be the game. There's a game
Yes.
usually that's an outlier. And a lot of guys that are Heisman candidates early, really not around at the end of the year,
Correct.
though. Someone like Travis Hunter is probably going to be around the whole year. But that could be a game at because UNLV, that type of team that can pull an upset, shut them down. They're playing well. That could be the game that decides his Heisman. Though it's not a big opponent, but it could be the game if he doesn't do well that just sinks
Everyone
him.
goes, oh, look, maybe he's not that good. And here's the thing. I think Matt Neverett, our own Matt Neverett, who's here every Tuesday with me, he was talking. He's the play-by-play guy for the football team. He said that's the game. If UNLV can get past that game, hey, UNLV could make the tournament. Are we calling it the tournament championship? 12-team. Let's call it a tournament.
Yeah.
12-team playoff. There you go. They could make the playoff. So anyway, we're very excited for UNLV and Matt Neverett. I just also want to say, and I'll talk to Bill Hillgrove when he's on, Pitt Panthers are 5-0.
Oh,
when are they ever 5-0? They haven't been 5-0 in like 20 years or something.
Yeah, they've been playing fantastic. The offense is great. The transfer quarterback's fantastic. He's a Heisman candidate.
It's Nick Saban. He was at Alabama with Nick Saban. I don't know how he came to Pittsburgh or why, but I love the guy. And he's better than Kenny Pickett, I'll tell you.
Usually those portal guys don't do well.
No.
Max Brown, Keaton Slovis, both from USC, did not do well.
I read all about Eli Holstein, and I was like, oh, I had no faith in Pitt this year.
Never heard of him.
I remember even, I think Chris and I were talking when they were doing their team-by-team breakdowns. Pitt, I said,
I had
no,
him at
they're
6 wins.
Yes. They're not going to be any good, but nope, they're doing pretty well. All right, grab another sheet.
All right, let's get it.
Punch bowl. By the way, while he's doing that, I want to point out that Sean fans out our parlay cards and all our cards here at the South Point. And I want to point out one in particular, $25,000 college rivalry jackpot parlay card. This is for Saturday, November 30th. So this is a ways away, but it's going to be a big one. $25,000 guaranteed. But come down this Sunday. You got your Sunday and Monday special. You got teasers. You got everything. So come down. Chris puts these out. Reverse teaser. Sean, how many of these are you going to fill out this weekend? 2. All right. Of course, I still don't want to talk about week 1 and my heartbreak. All right, what do you got?
Okay. A long one. Now I have to read your writing.
My writing's horrible.
My longtime friend. This is...
I have terrible pen. Do you want me to read it?
No.
Okay, go for it. I have terrible penmanship.
30 years of this. Patrick Mahomes owns 1% of the Royals.
He does.
What team would you not want to own 1%
So
of?
right now, when he bought the 1%, he bought low. Patrick Mahomes has some good advisors.
Yeah,
they were no good. They were coming off 100 last season. Now the Royals are hot. They got Bobby Witt Jr. So I'm just saying, because you could easily say, what team would you want 1% of? What team would you not want that you invest? Say you put $1 million in and might lose money on because it goes down. You're not going to lose money in the sports franchise, but what would be the worst one?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like obviously just the one in the news, like the Carolina Panthers,
right?
Possibly.
Who's owned by a Pittsburgh guy, David Tepper,
David
who's a
Tepper.
jerk. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I could say the Jets, but it's a New York team. You still want to have money in a New York team.
I don't know.
Hockey, I don't know. Who thinks
There's a hockey team, yeah. It's Arizona just moved to Utah, so now
so that's not them.
That's good money.
NBA, there's always a team that's.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just going to go with the Panthers.
Panthers. I would actually probably say the Pirates.
Well, I was going to say that, but they're so profitable.
Yeah, they make money.
I mean, if he would actually cut the check to you, they have no debt, no payroll.
No,
they make so much
money.
They
make money. They get guaranteed money from revenue sharing.
Guaranteed money,
and he's pissing it away. He's not spending on the team. We have a clip of Patrick Mahomes last night at the game. Here's him celebrating. Yeah. I mean, how awesome! He's cutting across just to get in this Yankee fan's face, who's probably a buddy. What? I own 1%. I own 1%. I noticed his brother wasn't in that box with him because his brother's the most annoying person.
Jackson. And by the way, Pat Mahomes also bought low. He's has a small percentage in an F1 team, Alpine, French team. Travis Kelce, Ryan Reynolds, and his partner.
Oh, that's right, Rob McElhaney. From,
a bunch of people, Sunny. And the team is they're in bad shape. He came in last year. The team is in bad shape. They may even sell.
Really?
Which would mean they're going to sell for a lot.
Wow.
Because those franchises or teams are into billions now.
Yeah.
So he came in probably pretty low. So he's going to make more money on that.
What if we buy? And how much is in petty cash? What do we got going on?
Yeah,
in petty
I love
cash?
the petty
Let's
cash.
invest in something. All right. And that's the answer.
That's a good call.
Oh, was Keith? Were you saying White Sox? Oh, it was Keith. Yes. Worst team, 1% in the White Sox. By the way, White Sox, if you're watching, make Matt Neverett your play-by-play man. We'll all watch the games. We'll all follow along. Matt Neverett would be perfect.
Matt, congratulations to Matt, by the way. He's so great.
He's great. We couldn't be more thrilled in the fact that he's here. And he will be here every Tuesday through at least this month and next month. December, he's going to blow us off.
Deadly handsome. Deadly handsome.
He's very handsome. Well, as my mom's watching.
Okay, yeah.
You know that. Let's see here. Keith Lyle, yeah, okay. All right, so I think we have...
we got one more in there in the bowl?
I just throw them on the ground.
You throw them on the ground?
Yeah, it's like for more effect. Okay, now this is one of the reasons you're here. Okay. Oh, you threw a flag
I don't know why. They said you could throw a flag.
You
so I
can
gotta
throw a flag at any time. What's the flag for?
That jersey's way too big. And you were referencing earlier. This is like my giant. He's Billy Crystal, and I'm like the NBA guy.
Look at that. It's a two. Oh, no.
Who's got a silver dollar? Who's got a silver dollar right in that belly button?
Frank Murgia, as long as I've known him, 30-plus years, he's always pointed out that my navel could fit a 50-cent piece.
We were roommates, so I saw his belly button.
Okay. We should move on. We should really move on.
It is this. 2 golf balls. Boom. I mean, boom.
All right.
Anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad this one was last. The WNBA Finals start tonight. Who's the first person on the planet who told me about Caitlin Clark?
That would be me.
That would be this. I had no idea. He's like, are you guys following Caitlin Clark? I'm like, who's Caitlin Clark? He's like, she's at Iowa. She's the best college player in the country. You got to follow her. And of course, Caitlin, we hail Caitlin. We love Caitlin Clark on this show. Always doing something fun.
Yeah, this goes back to 2021 because I was originally texting you about Paige Beckers.
Paige Beckers, I love her.
She was a freshman, the incoming hot, and then Clark was another great freshman.
Right.
But they played that year. It was after COVID. They played in Sweet 16 and. UConn beat them by 20, but Iowa didn't have the team. But then when Paige got hurt and she was out for about a year and a half for the most part, I started following Caitlin, and then it's pretty much every night. Caitlin Clark. I just keep texting you every night.
She became the greatest college scorer of all time.
She's fun.
We love her, and we love everything she did with the Fever. Now, the Fever started out super slow, but once they found themselves as a team, they made it to the playoffs. I don't think anyone expected them to go that far, right?
No.
No, not
It was great. I mean, I didn't expect them to win that series, but getting there is great.
And next year, little more pressure on them.
Yeah. Free agency, new GM, new president. They're going to make some moves.
And we haven't seen, so we're not going to see her play again until April. Which
it's crazy.
But the social media that she's the golf. This was right. When Caitlin Clark picked up a golf club, this guy had a heart attack. He's like, oh my God, she's playing golf in November.
She played Pro-Am, LPGA.
That's going to be awesome.
Sorensen. Yeah, it's not televised, but they have. Well, it's the Pro-Am. They usually don't televise the Pro-Am portion of those events.
Someone's going to televise
They're going to have to stream it.
Yes.
As someone said on Twitter, they go, that'll get more views than the NBA final game.
Yeah.
It will.
Or the match that, there's all the matches.
Which is what I want to see.
Barkley, we got to see that. Okay, so the reason we bring this up tonight, game 1 of the WNBA finals, who do we have? We have the Lynx and the Liberty.
Lynx at the Liberty.
Okay, so what do you think? The line right now, Liberty is -6, 159 is the over-under. Who do you like in that game?
I like the Lynx outright, money line. I love the money line dogs.
Really?
Yes, I do. At least in game 1.
Okay.
I'm not saying they're going to. The Liberty are the best team.
They are.
The Lynx are very good defense, offense. Their coach of the year, Cheryl Reeves, USA Women's Coach, Executive of the Year as well. They're very disciplined. They have Nafisa Collier, who is Defensive Player of the Year, but also a scoring machine in this WNBA playoffs. So I think they will pull the upset tonight.
Okay.
Lynx tonight. Take the money line.
Okay. And also the new Juju Watkins is another player you told me about.
I've been.
USC,
I've been blowing up
USC.
Juju. Yeah, she's going to be fantastic. I think she broke the rookie scoring record last year. Yeah, she'll break all the records, and probably Caitlin's. Unfortunately, she can't come out until like 2027.
Why is that?
You can't go early. It's a full. You got to do all your years there. She's fantastic. USC.
She is.
She with Nike, Clutch Sports, Rich Paul. They got her the Nike deal, the shoe deal already.
Yeah, she just signed the big deal.
She will be a gigantic superstar.
She's the next.
And she's very, very nice and humble.
Yeah,
I like very marketable.
And I don't like you. I'm a UCLA guy, so it's hard for me to say.
I know. Me too.
All right. So anyway, so the mascot of the Liberty, it's Ellie.
Ellie the elephant.
Ellie the elephant. So very active on social media, and basically the one night before, a couple nights before the game 1 tonight, someone else was using their stadium, and he wanted to thank the Liberty for using the stadium. Here's the clip.
Sabrina and all.
It's JT.
Let's go.
Liberty Lake.
We'll keep it warm. Let's go. Liberty, let's go.
All right, so Timberlake, very excited. And now look, so Ellie the elephant comes to a sound check, can't sit still, and jumps in and does a little choreography with Justin Timberlake. Later on that night, she came out and was doing it live, and the crowd went nuts. But he's a big sports fan. He's a big Memphis fan. But Ellie the elephant There she is.
That's your most popular mascot going right there.
Yeah, right?
Ellie, yeah.
Ellie the elephant. I wasn't aware of Ellie the elephant. All right, so game 1 tonight. And is the line still at like 6 points, Sean? Okay. It's the exact same. All right, let's go look at today's date. Today's date is October 10th. It's 10/10. Might be a good number to play.
Yes.
Here are the national days, ladies and gentlemen. National, and pay attention, everyone, because you're going to tell me the fake one. Here we go. National Hug a Drummer Day, National Cake Decorating Day, National Walk to a Park Day, National Angel Food Cake Day, National Handbag Day, International Wave to a Cop Day. Which one is the fake one? Frank, you can go first, and Vince, whoever's got something.
I'm thinking a handbag?
A handbag, no handbag day? Vince and Sean?
I'm trying to figure out your tell. Well, every time you...
He has them. He has them.
Yeah, I'm very twitchy, as you know, Ann.
I'm going to... Well, Sean thinks it's a Hug a Drummer.
Hug a Drummer, you think that's fake?
Ooh.
And Vince, any input?
I'm thinking it's a Walk to the Park Day.
Walk to the Park Day, Vince? Wave to a Cop Day? One of you is correct. Wave to a Cop Day. Wave to a Cop Day is fake. I made that one. I made that up. Who wants to? People wave to the cop with one finger most of the time. Come on, let's be honest. That was fake, ladies and gentlemen. The birthdays, celebrity birthdays. NASCAR legend Dale Earnhardt Jr. Little E turns 50. I sent that to Brendan Gunn. Did they do a show today? Yeah, I mentioned it to him. He didn't look at my email? I tried to help Brendan Gaughan out. He didn't. Okay. And this is big. Seahawks quarterback Geno Smith turns 34 today. Geno Smith is playing on Thursday Night Football tonight at home against the Niners. And Pittsburgh Pirates Andrew McCutcheon. I had to throw that in there. He turns 38.
Dutch.
So we put them all in the AI magic machine. Caden spits this out for us. What do we got? There we go.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So we got Geno Smith on a handbag, walking in a park. And then you got Dale Earnhardt Jr. What's going on in the car? Is he? Oh, he's got a cake.
That does not.
It's cake decorating day. There's a cake with Dale Earnhardt Jr. And Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s let himself go, by the way. I don't know.
Yeah, that might be Trent Dilfer. That is
like
not
a little thick in the fat. No one's driving the car. I'm very dangerous. Oh, it's angel food cake, maybe.
Who's
too.
in the car? Who's in the back seat of the
There's a
car?
woman in the car. I don't know.
That's Ann.
Is that
That's Ann. Let's go.
Back seat. I'm not sure who that is. That was Dom DeLuise.
Let's go, Ann.
Well, there you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 12:36. Roll the graphic. Here we go. Time for picks at 12:36, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. We do this every day at 12:36. We're 1 minute late. We're about 3 minutes away from talking with Bill Hillgrove.
Yeah,
I
let's not lose
cannot
Billy.
wait. So we want to talk picks. Frank, you have a parlay for everybody you're advising them on.
I do. The Philly-Ego.
Philly-Ego.
The three-leg Philly-Ego. That's Philadelphia teams.
Yes, you
and
have
it
the
was
Eagles.
a four-leg Philly-Ego until yesterday.
Yeah, the Phillies are out.
So, and these are all money lines. I only bet money lines.
Only money lines.
Dogs. People hate that. That's fine. So you got the Philadelphia Eagles upcoming this Sunday. San Diego Chargers. Yes, San Diego
You're allowed to
Chargers.
call them San
I'm
Diego.
going with
Your grandfather
Diego
did.
of the Philly-Ego.
And
Yeah.
Ann likes them as the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah.
They're the LA Chargers.
And the San Diego Padres, the Friars, my Friars. It's the Philly-Ego. Take the money line on all of them. Whether
Okay.
they're favored
parlay
or
and money
plus.
line on that's going to pay well.
Three-leg Philly-Ego.
All right, and for myself, Frankie Overs is checking in for the first time this season. That would be me. I'm going. I know these teams are going to run the ball a lot, but I'm going over tonight, 49.5. That's a high total on a primetime game. Everyone says bet the under on the primetime games, so I'm going over.
It's going over.
I'm taking it over, 49.5. Sean, is that what we have it here at the South Point? 49. It's down to 49. San Francisco 49ers at Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to go ahead and take the over and root for points, as I always
The
do.
line is 49 for the 49ers? Let's go.
And it's a slow clap for you there.
Golf clap?
Golf clap, golf clap. It's muted with the glove on. 49 on the 49ers. And you also have a pick. It's very rare, but she does get a feeling. What do you got?
Repeated ones are in my day today. Repeated
Right.
ones. So if you go to the rotation number for repeated ones, it is UTEP. They are an underdog.
UTEP, Texas El
They
Paso.
The Miners.
They are plus 800. I've got my money on UTEP for the upset at plus 800.
Straight to the counter after this.
All right, we're going straight to the counter
Straight
after
to
this.
the
So it's UTEP tonight.
Yeah.
We might be losing Billy.
Oh, no, we got it. We got it.
Okay.
All right, so we got plenty of picks for you guys there. And I'm going to put my headphones on, Murgia, if you want to grab your cans. That's radio speak. Yeah, we're going to toss to a break. We're going to go to a 30-second commercial or so. We're going to check the feed, and then we're coming back. And this is a very exciting moment. He's got his Pitt shirt on. I can't believe it. Bill Hillgrove right after this message. All right, welcome back to Punchlines. Welcome back to Punchlines. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest, Chris Andrews, lined this up through a friend. And Frank and I, two kids who grew up in Pittsburgh, growing up watching TAE News with Joe DiNardo and Paul Long and Don Cannon and Sally Wiggin, who I've gotten to be friends with. This gentleman also did the Steeler games from 94 to 2024, and he's still the voice of the Pitt Panthers, who we talked about earlier. They're 5-0. He does hoops and football. And we are going to go ahead and mention a few of our favorite old Pitt Panther hoopsters just to tell them how long we've been fans. We're going back to Roy Chipman days. Ladies and gentlemen, it's quite the honor. Bill Hillgrove is here, ladies and gentlemen. This is great for us.
Billy.
Wearing the Pitt Panthers jersey. Bill.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Bill, thank you for being here.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing that, all of a sudden I said to myself, I don't have Myron anymore. I don't have Tunch. Stan Saverin's gone. Paul Long, Don Cannon, Joe DiNardo, they're all gone. And then it dawns on you that you're not a permanent part of this life, that, we're all temporary. And so I just said, well, time to smell some roses.
There you go. Absolutely. I love that. And I've been listening to you. Like I said, we both grew up in Pittsburgh. And I want to talk about Pitt Panthers football right now because going into this season, now I read all the local media stuff still in Pittsburgh online every night, DK Sports, Trib Review, Post, I read it all. So I didn't know much about a lot of the players on the team this year, and Eli Holstein was a name I had never heard of until I read that he was a transfer from Alabama. But this Pitt team is one of the few unbeaten teams still in the country. How do you feel about the Pitt Panthers right now?
Well, I'll tell you what, a lot better than I did before the season when people were asking me, how are they going to do? I said, well, they're not a 3-9 team. That was an aberration. We all knew that. And I think these kids took it upon themselves to, have the resolve to say, that wasn't us. We're going to show you the real us. And I've seen that so far this year. Now with Holstein, I thought he and Nate Yarnell were neck and neck in football camp. But for the last scrimmage, Holstein just showed me something. I love the eye test. I can hear all the ratings, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. No, I want somebody to pass the eye test. And that eye test on that day at that scrimmage told me this kid is something special. And he's proven it. And what I like about him is he's like a cornerback. He has a short memory.
Yes.
He threw that pick six against Carolina last week. And Pitt fell behind 7-3. He forgot about it. He just kept playing. Next play. And I love that. And I guess there's a reason that Nick Saban was in his living room twice. He's a pretty darn good quarterback. And what I didn't see, and I saw a little bit of it, but I see it now in full bloom, his ability to run with a football. There's some Josh Allen there.
Yeah. Big. And by the way, just hearing his voice is tripping me out. Frank, you have a question?
Yeah, this will be stepping away from Pitt. This is kind of going backwards. A good friend of ours, a friend of yours as well, Ryan Recker from WTAE. A friend of mine as well. Ryan, Channel 4 Sports Now News.
Great people.
Yeah.
So I checked in with Ryan, and I told him you're going to be on the show. He goes, you got to ask Bill. You got to ask Bill about when you were a driver back at WTAE when you were young and picking up the Three Stooges at the airport.
What?
Ryan said this is the go-to story.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, Paul Shannon was the guy in charge of his Adventure Time in the afternoon, and he had the Stooges coming in as a guest. And I was the backup station wagon driver, and the regular driver was on vacation. So he said, you have to go to the Holiday House to pick up the Three Stooges. Okay. And I drive out Route 22, pulled into the Holiday House parking lot, and there they are. About this big.
Oh, my God.
In
Nobody
character?
over 5'5". And Mo jumped in the back seat, got behind me, Larry next to him, and then Joe. He had an Italian name. It wasn't Curly.
Who?
But anyhow, I'll think of it. Anyhow, they're in the car, and Mo taps me on the shoulder and said, "You know where Steubenville is? Take me there." I said, "What do you know about Steubenville?" I'm 19 years old, and I didn't realize that he knew as much about our area as he did. Well, then we're driving down the road, and I said, I have a question. Whatever happened to the real Curly? And before the other two could open their mouths, Mo said, well, he blankety blanked himself to death. And I said, no more questions. No more questions.
Did you drive
I'm
them all?
19 years old. It blew my mind that these guys were that worldly, but it was an experience of a lifetime.
Well, wait, why did they want to go to Steubenville? That's Dean Martin's hometown, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Well, it was a wide open town in its day,
Ah.
and gambling and other things that today are considered, not permissible.
Right.
Except in Vegas.
It was a wide open town.
Now,
Wheeling was too.
Yeah, but Monroe. So you're picking them up at the Holiday House, which was in Monroeville, if I'm not mistaken, to Steubenville. That's a 2-hour drive. I mean, that was not like just going across
it's not
town.
that far. It's about an hour drive.
Okay.
But they knew about it, and that kind of impressed me.
Oh my God!
A lot.
Did you? Now,
They were funny dudes.
Were you
really were?
Were you a Three Stooges fan at the time? I mean, how could you not be, right?
Yeah, right. How could you not be? Right, exactly.
Oh, that's a tremendous story. Thank you for sharing that, Ryan Recker. That's amazing.
That's a good one.
So let's talk Pitt basketball, if you don't mind. We have the season coming up now. Frank Murgia. Now, I go back to the Dr. Roy Chipman days. Okay, my favorite player growing up was Clyde Vaughn. I loved Clyde Vaughn. You loved Daryl.
Yeah, Daryl Gissendaner, Billy
Gissendaner.
Culberson, all those guys back in the Eastern Eight.
Yeah, the Eastern Eight and George Allen with the long shorts. But then, of course, the days of like Charles Smith and Jerome Lane and Curtis Aiken, who's your partner on the broadcast. How does Pitt hoops look? Jeff Capel, who we love Jeff Capel. How's this team going to look? We lost a lot of guys to the draft and graduation.
Well, he had a lot of bad luck. And we don't have to get into the particulars, but he had some kids there that probably weren't good teammates. And he realized it, and he called them all in and said, I'm going to help you find a place, but it's not here, it's elsewhere.
Wow.
And he gradually, turned that roster over, and finally he's getting some good luck. And he is in on some really good players. We saw last year Bub Carrington.
Yeah.
We're seeing it this year in Jalen Lowe. And Bub's gone after 1 year. I think Lowe will be gone after 2 years because the NBA will come calling. This is a quality of player that he's into now. And, of course, he's used his Duke days as an assistant coach and recruited, 4- and 5-star players. And right now we're dipping into talent pools that I don't recall in a long time us dipping into. So I think it all augurs well for Pitt basketball.
Yeah. Now, you're a Duquesne Duke graduate. Is that right? You graduated from Duquesne?
That is correct.
I went there.
You went to Duquesne, didn't you, Frank?
I went there for a semester.
Oh, really? What? Did you do well?
I did well. I had a 3.2 blood alcohol level. Okay, that's a really old joke that I did as a child. That was one of my first jokes I did as a kid. But Duquesne had a heck of a run last year in the tournament, so I still follow them too.
Did.
Yeah, it was nice to see.
They played their best. They played their best basketball in the Atlantic 10 Conference tournament, and then they got into the NCAA and pulled off an upset and went a lot farther than anybody thought that they would. And I think that's great for Duquesne basketball. Yeah. I'd like to see them succeed because if we have 2 college programs in the Pittsburgh area that succeed, we'll probably, resume the city game.
Yes.
And maybe more importantly, if you have that kind of success for 3 or 4 or 5 years for 2 teams, you might have the market for an NBA team.
Oh, that would be amazing. But the city game we used to go to the city game all the time. Yeah. I actually flew in for a few of the city games.
Yes, you did.
So now, one more Pitt question. You are a Central Catholic graduate where also Dan Marino graduated. And I remember watching Marino play at Pitt. I sat on those bleachers up on the hill and froze my butt off watching Dan Marino play. Is he the best quarterback you ever saw play in college?
I'm prejudiced, but yes. He is. He didn't have the success in the pros that some other quarterbacks did because, well, for a long time he didn't have a running back except for Mercury Morris. And he probably, except for 85, didn't have a good defense.
Yeah.
And so, it was on Danny. He had to outscore the opposition. And as we know, football being the ultimate team game, if you don't have a team around you, it's tough to get to the Super Bowl. But, yeah, he'll always be the Iceman. The quick release. I remember Chuck Noll brought him in, when he was a senior at Pitt, and he worked him out with a couple of Steeler receivers, one of whom was either John Stallworth or Lynn Swan. I don't know which.
Wow.
And another receiver or two. And he called him in afterwards, and he said, Danny, for you And for us, it's probably better that you play somewhere else.
Wow.
And to me, that was a very wise bit of advice.
Wow.
And I remember I was in his house the day he was drafted. He got sick after Ken O'Brien got picked because, that was 5 quarterbacks ahead of him in that 82 draft. And he went upstairs. And he wasn't up there 2 minutes. The phone rang. His mother answered. And she said, Dan, it's Coach Sula's secretary wants to talk to you. And he came downstairs, put the phone to his ear, and said, yes and yes. And I found out later the two questions were, are you healthy and do you want to play for the Dolphins? And as soon as he hung up, his dad looked at me, and his dad was such a wise man, and said, that's the best thing that could ever happen to my son, because he knew Don Shula would turn Danny loose right away.
Wow.
No other coach in the league would have done that.
You know what?
And so it was a perfect fit. And now he's Mr. Miami.
Yeah. And Bill, that's amazing. I got chills you telling that story because I remember everyone in Pittsburgh obviously wanted, but that's not Noel's style, right? He probably wouldn't have turned him loose. He might not have even started him. And I think the Steelers took Gabe Rivera, I think was the pick that year. Was it Gabe Rivera? I can't remember.
They didn't know at the time that Bradshaw's arm would go bad.
Correct. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Then, so therefore, that might have changed the dynamic of it, but at the time that was the best thing for all parties.
Yeah. Wow. That's really amazing. Well, listen, we're very excited because the Steelers are out here in Las Vegas. I have tons of friends that are flying in for the game. Have you been watching the Steelers this year? What do you think of the team and how do you feel about this weekend?
My role has changed.
Yeah.
I am now a fan.
Okay.
I swear at the TV. I yell at the TV, and I say words that I could never say on the radio.
You could say in front of the Three Stooges, though.
This team is still a team in development because we're not sure who the quarterback is going to be. This week, it's Justin Fields. But something tells me that down the line, Russell Wilson will gradually assume the reins of that offense. I think at that point, you'll see a thicker playbook. And I think you'll see more play action and all of the things that Russell excels at. In the meantime, what disappointed me, especially about the Cowboys, that defense couldn't stop the Cowboys at the end of the game. They let them go right down the field, and Dick can't do that. If you're in a defense, you find a way to stop them.
Wow. Yeah, it's going to be, it's going to be like a home game out here in Vegas. But I agree with you. It's a tough team. Every game comes down. This Steeler team gives us heart attacks every week. I mean, last week came down to the final play, but I'm excited to see the game here this week. The Raiders are struggling, but it's I think it is Justin Fields' game. But I agree with you. I mean, I think Russell Wilson, we're going to see him play eventually.
Can I tell you a little Steeler Nation story?
Yes.
Last year we're in the team hotel, which was the Westin, which is at the end of the strip that doesn't have a casino because the NFL rule is if you're an employee of the NFL, you can't be in a casino, be that as it may. So I'm sitting having a cup of coffee in the lounge, and it's an oval bar, and this individual looks at me and tracks me as he walks around the whole bar and comes up next to me and stuck his hand out and said, Bill, my name is Josh Green. I'm the governor of Hawaii. What? He goes, yeah. He says, I'm a Western Pennsylvanian. I grew up there, but I've been in Hawaii for 30 years, and now he's the governor.
Oh, man.
And he was at the game in full Steeler regale, just like you are, and so I expect him to be there Sunday night.
That's phenomenal. And then we have one last question Frank wanted to ask you.
One final question, and I know it's tough because you've seen so many and covered so many, and this could be even how you feel about covering them, not maybe just how they performed. Your Mount Rushmore of Pittsburgh Steelers, you can.
Your 4 favorite Steelers, possibly.
Who's your 4 favorite?
Terry Bradshaw, Joe Green, Jerome Bettis, Troy Polamalu.
Oh, that is a good 4. I grew up, I'm wearing a Rod Woodson jersey that my buddy brought me, and I'd put Woodson 5th or 6th. You can't argue with that 4 right there.
No, that's great. And it's from your perspective. You've seen play, and you've covered them, and you didn't go with the same, I'd say, cookie cutter answers, which is fine, but that's really awesome what you picked there, especially put Bettis in there.
We have time for a Joe Green story.
Let's get it.
Yes, we have time for Mean Joe Green, of course.
Let's get it.
Well, when he was drafted, he was in the same class as John Kolb, who was a tackle from Oklahoma State. I think Kolb was drafted in the 3rd round, and of course, Joe was the first pick. And in those days, the Steelers at St. Vincent College would sing their college fight song at lunchtime. And so the first day of camp, Kolb said, they called me up and said, you have to sing the Oklahoma State fight song. And he said, I don't sing very well. We don't care, sing. He said, I got through it. So the second day, they said, hey, Joe Green, you got to come up here and sing the North Texas State fight song. He stood up and said, if any of you blankety blanks think you're tough enough to make me sing, come on up here now. They haven't sung since.
Oh, my God. I love it. And that's why they're the North Texas Mean Green now, for God's sakes. That is an outstanding story. I mean, he's probably the greatest Steeler. I mean, he's the one who helped really just get Noel's teams launched in that 70s decade.
If you can name a name of what made them go from losers to winners, name Joe Green.
Absolutely. Bill, this is a thrill for me. I grew up as a huge Pirate fan, and I got to interview Lanny for Terry maybe 6 months ago. And great guy. I mean, I was as giddy as I am today with you on there. Can't thank you enough. We are the biggest Pitt Panther fans and Steeler fans. So talking with you is awesome, and I can't thank you enough for doing this program.
Thank you, guys. Let's do it again.
Let's go. Yes!
Let's go, Billy.
Bill Hillgrove,
Let's go.
ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Bill Hillgrove. Thank you to Chris Andrews, who's our sportsbook director here, who is a Churchill native and Pittsburgh native and had a friend line up Bill Hillgrove to talk. I mean, I don't think we can do any more. I think that's the perfect ending to the show.
I love Bill Hillgrove. And if you don't know him, if you're not a Steeler fan, just Google any of his calls on YouTube.
Yeah.
The voice. And when he's calling the play, and it just explodes.
Yeah.
And
the best.
you get chills.
Yeah, the best.
Amazing.
That was a huge thrill. So thank you for Murgie. Huge thrill for having you here as well. You're busy all week. Tell people about where they can follow the golf stuff, the PGA stuff.
Yeah, Tri-State PGA on all the socials. And you can follow our tournament at the Paiute Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'll be doing a lot of live hits and videos and stuff like that.
Awesome. All right, listen, I don't care what picks he and I gave out. Go with Ann's UTEP pick for the night. When Ann gets a feeling, this only happens once a month. We're going UTEP. We're going to the window right now to bet UTEP. Tomorrow is Friday. Hey, Jeff Parles, just a little piece of money. Jeff Parles is back. Is he? Do we know? Is he back?
That was a deep fake. I don't even think he was in.
No, he was there with Mr. Matt and Grimace and all that. Jeff Parles will be here on a Friday. And, we didn't even show our comedian clip, did we? Why don't we end with it? Tomorrow's guest. Can we do that? Comedy clip of the day. This comedian, Michael Oldroyd, he's a friend of Trevor Glassman, who was here. Oh, yeah. Special thing about Michael is he is from University of Missouri, where Jeff Parles also went. So they'll probably have some University of Mizzou stuff to talk about. We hope Michael can make it. He sent me his flight itinerary. He's flying in from Florida. So we hope that he gets out. And we send our best wishes and thoughts and prayers out to everyone affected by this Hurricane Milton and everything that's going on down there. So we hope Michael will be here along with Jeff Parles. But thank you for watching today's show. Please click and subscribe. That was a lot of fun. Punchlines, live in Nevada, every show.
We had bull rings. Guys, back in college, that used to work on the ladies. Later, though, in New York, doesn't work, all right? I went on a day, I was wearing my bull ring. I was with a chick. I was like, hey, how's it going? I played football for Mizzou, you know? We were #1 in the country at one point. She was like, do you have a job? I was like, yo, check out this ring right here. It says Oldroyd. You know, we're at the Cotton Bowl, Dallas, Texas. I met Troy Aikman. She's like, what's your base salary?